What's going on, everybody? Whew, man, I'm still feeling good after that itemless run. How you guys all doing? Let me change this real quick. Kind of forgot. How late am I? 6 minutes late? Yeah, 6 minutes late, my bad. It's been worse, though, so. Alright. Dearest at Marvel Champions. Ooh. The 2-year badge is still a work in progress, but here's the concept, at least. Doesn't translate as well to the tiny screen. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change it. You guys can see it on on Christian's there. Where is it? I wish I could show you guys a bigger picture, but I don't know how to show freaking things. Why does this not show so well? Maybe I won't make this the tweet. Ugh. Well, I won't even make it the tweet. Alright, we'll have to change the tweet then. BG, they put me back where I was in Labyrinth for Botto. Awesome, dude. That's awesome, man. And Enzo, sending over 20 bucks. Dude, Enzo. Saying, hi BG, you are more fun than anyone or anything I know, including bubble wrap? No. Enzo. That is the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me. I don't believe it. There's no way more fun than bubble wrap. That is not possible. But dude, Enzo, thank you very much, man. Slap. Thank you, dude. That is mighty generous of you, and more kind than anything. Okay, let me see for this tweet though. Dearest at Marvel Champions. Maybe I'll say this. There are only 8 paths remaining in all of 6.2. But right now, I need some arena recovery time. Wanna join me? I am now live. Okay. Tweet. All right. Cool, man. Let's get out of here. What's up, everybody? Nice run this evening, BG. Congrats. Thank you. Currently at Daredevil. Nice. Oh, and the new 2-year icon. Yeah, I'm not happy with it. I'll have to change it. It didn't come out so good. It's supposed to be on fire. On a bigger on like the before it gets shrunk down all teeny tiny, it actually looked pretty cool. But right now it's needs work. It needs work. Junior, first one in here though, followed by Donut Cop. What up, dude? Jaden, Cocaine Teddy, Andrew Brandt. Probably messed up your name. Sorry about that. Byro HD, Arrow, Christian. What's up? Normata Panda, Brutus. What's up, everybody? Of course we got Enzo, Roboto, Yo Aunt, Yo Mama. Man, I keep tripping up over your name. I'm just gonna have to say, Joe Mama. I'm gonna say, from now on, I'm calling you Joe Mama. Alright. All right. Anyway, let's get started, man. So I'm leaving my my suicides off right now because I want to place my defenders in the morning when we start up war. But I did change back. I did respec basically, removed my item list spec. We're gonna watch the finished path. How long into the stream was it? Oh, the path was the entire stream. I only did one path, and it took the entire stream. So, yeah. It starts whenever I get into the quest. 5-10 minutes in, whatever it was. So, yeah. I'm going to make a highlight of it. So. My bones hurt, BG. They hurt bad. Oh, no. Shark, you doing okay? But yeah, it's gonna suck not doing arena, you know, or doing arena without suicides. But it's okay because I'll turn them on as soon as I place my defenders tomorrow. And in the meantime, I guess I'll run my 5 stars to the 5-star featured. I'm strictly going for milestones this round. I was considering going for milestones plus Guillotine 2099 4-star to get the dupe, and part of me still wants to do that. Maybe I still will. I don't know. But I need to get the rest of these milestones too. So anyway, let's begin. Let's run these 5s. They've all been up for a while now. Because I haven't been able to run them more than once a day pretty much. When you quit using suicides, when you realize that life is not what it appears, things are not right. It's true. Things are not right now. Look how long this fight's taking. Should be over right now. You would have never survived that L2. I mean, the worst part about not having suicides on is building up the infinite streak, and since that's already done, this won't be nearly as bad. It'll still be a little bit annoying, a little bit slow, but, you know, not as big a deal. Just watch the champion kill. Yeah, I mean, actually, if anyone wants to see just the champion kill, that was definitely the very end of the video, of course, so, or stream. It was supposed to be a pun for Aunt Jemima. Yeah, I figured that, but for some reason, it's hard for me to to look at and say. And it stuck. The name is over 15 years old. Wow. In gaming world, all the way back to Counter-Strike. Nice, man. It's got some deep roots. That name. Once you place, can you put suicides right away? Yeah, as soon as you join war and place your defenders, you're good to, like, those masteries are locked in. You're good to go to put the suicides back on. You don't have to wait for war to start or anything like that. ABG, long time no see. Would you awaken Venom, Medusa, or Captain Sparkles? I would not go with Venom. I think Venom is an amazing champion, but I think he's playable unawakened. More so than someone like Medusa. Captain Sparkles is the only one of those 3 that I'm not super well versed in. I know Captain Sparkles is amazing. I don't know how important her awaken ability is firsthand. It seems like it's a pretty good awaken ability, but I don't have the experience to say if you should or should not go Sparkles. The only thing that I'll tell you is don't go Venom with the awakening. Possibly a better thing to do is to kind of ask yourself that question of what's going to change for you when you awaken one of these champions. Are you struggling to get through some content right now that they could help you with? Because they all have their different uses. Medusa, for example, without awakening her, she can't handle caustic temper nodes. She can't handle buffed up. She can't do a whole lot. Her damage output isn't that great. The only thing she could do is shut down robots still, but other than that. So Medusa, the awakening ability there is really important, but I don't know if it's even more important for Sparkles. Still on the fence for Doom Arena? No, I'm off the fence. I'm not going for him. I just can't do it. I want Doom, of course, right? He looks awesome. I think he's good. I think he'll be really useful. I think, you know, especially once we get like Silver Surfer, and all that. I mean, I think Doom, he's probably gonna have. Oh, whoops! Totally ran right into that. I feel like Doom is he's gonna be important for other champions coming to the game too. Like right now, his synergies are a bit selfish, but I imagine that as time goes on, like he's gonna be a synergy partner for a bunch of these champions and stuff. So I don't know. I would love to get him, but right now I just need units, and I might start just kind of saving all of my crystals for when he gets added to the basic, all of my shards. Like I'm still not going featured. F that, man. All those extra shards, no thank you. I'll keep popping basics, but yeah, if I just wait 4 months, I could get a lot of a lot of shards in that time. So your tweet BG, you can't believe you're only eight paths away, itemless. Even though I've spent money in game, you're truly an inspiration that anything is possible in this game. Well, thanks, man. A little bit of patience, maybe a whole lot of patience, and determination. Yeah, man, you can do it all. And thank you for the buck. Sending over a buck as well. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. What is your favorite champ? Favorite champ is Venom the Duck. Closely behind Venom the Duck, I'd say we got Medusa. It's probably still second. I think Man-Thing is way up there. Man-Thing might be number 3 right now. Just kind of crazy sounding, but I don't know. I don't know if he's quite number 3 yet. I haven't really played him Awakened. I'm just kind of imagining him Awakened. But maybe when I get him Awakened, maybe he will be. Dude, my 5-star Void today from a basic. Was very pleased about that. Fitz, congrats. That's awesome. Oh my god, I got so lucky that I didn't die just now. Roboto, you can't die, man. You've got this. You'll make it. X23 down. Nice, dude. Keep it rolling. Yo, what up, BG? Congrats on the last item of this run. Thanks, man. Feels good. Finally make some progress. I mean, I'm serious when I say, like, even without completing paths, it's all progress, because there's things that I learn, and then I can go back in and, you know, have a better run next time and everything. So it's always progress, even the failures. Sometimes the failures are more important than the times you make it through the path. But it is the first time that I've seen some actual, like, paths being completed progress in a while. So feels real good. Also boosted my confidence for that champion fight. I realized that if I don't have to play like a god in that last 10%, as long as I can make it to the last 10% with enough health. That's the most important thing. So a lot of times I don't make it there with full health, or I take a hit somewhere part way through the fight, something like that. And then yeah, I get wrecked by the champion because I can't really take a blocked hit or anything. But if I just take like a couple of those little blocked hits at the end there before evading, I had a good amount of health to work with. So it's a real confidence booster for getting through other paths. Like, some of the gated paths are a bit terrifying, and I don't know what I'm going to do there exactly. The 6-star gate I don't think is going to be a big deal. I made it to the champion boss through the 6-star gate at one point, so I'm sure I could do that again. The science gate probably won't be that big a deal, but I might need to rank up like She-Hulk before then or something. The skill gate, however, oh man, oh man, that skill gate. And I mean, I guess the science gate also has no retreat on it, so I kind of forgot about that. That's a whole new world right there too. So, please add me. Sorry, dude. I don't add anybody. It's nothing personal. It's just the in-game friend system is useless. There's no real need for it. If you have questions or something like that, just hop in stream, ask. I'll try my best to answer them, but you know, I don't see all the messages, so some other people in here might help out and answer you as well. Definitely take everyone's advice. There's a lot of really smart, experienced players in this community. Sometimes people trust my opinion more just because I appear on YouTube, but that really don't matter. Tons of really helpful people in this community that don't make videos. BG, about 5 to 6 weeks ago, I took over my alliance. Did you? Essentially rebuilt with 6 new officers and replaced 15 or so. I want to quit, but now we're winning wars and back in the 90s for AQ. Cody, nice, man. Dang, dude. Also, being a leader isn't the most fun. I know, dude. It's rough, man. You know, I've never been an alliance leader or officer in this game. Uh-oh, wait, hold that thought. Dun-dun. Dun-dun. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Dun-dun. Lola. But yeah, I've never what's it go? I've never been a leader or officer in this game, but I have in other games, and I know it's not the most fun thing. Sometimes though, it can be really satisfying. It's a lot of stress, a lot of extra work, but I mean, think about it, man. Think about how much you did to pull all those people together, and you know, it's pretty cool. It's just it's taxing, you know. Thank you, Laura. That made my day. Shark. I think Laura likes that you like Lola so much. Because of course, that's her baby right there. So she's happy to make your day with Lola's help. Does Gwenpool need to be awakened? Doesn't need to be awakened to be playable. But there are, you know, her awakened ability is nice. It allows for some unique things like tanking special 3s and surviving and reducing ability accuracy and stuff like that. Christian said at over 5 saying, "Wow, BG, I'm truly impressed with the one-shot. See, you don't even need thing." I know. Didn't even need thing. I mean, he helped get me there, but thing, who needs it? I didn't even need Proxima for that fight either, but I guess I'm still happy I ranked up Proxima. Otherwise, that path would have been a nightmare because Proxima definitely helped get me there. The sustainability, man. When you're doing item lists, you need champions that can heal. It's like the most important thing. BGO was one of those guys today. First crystal equals Guillotine 2099. Not as much as that. Not as much as that guy is Dave though. Wow. Well, Hector, congrats, man. Are you talking about a 6-star of Guillotine, or are you talking a 5-star? Either way, congrats. BG just cracked 900k rating, 1 mil. Here I come. Black Seraphim, you got this, dude. Totally got this. Evil God, I can't add you, dude. I can't add you, so please stop asking. Just come and hang out, have a good time. Like I said, if you have questions about the game, more than happy to try to answer them in here, but can't spam it in here unless unless maybe you were talking to someone else. I don't know, but if you are, then I apologize. But still, I can't add you. BG had multiple incomplete paths and losing wars. People were very unhappy, including myself. I have a solid core of officers, and we're pretty darn solid. Finally, and yeah, it feels good to have it done. Yeah, nice, dude. It's a never-ending battle, but I mean, you've climbed the mountain, man. Like that's the toughest part, is kind of that whole rebuilding process. From there, you know. It's always going to be times where you need to recruit and stuff like that, but that's the biggest thing, is getting everything set up. So, now I wish 5. Okay, alright, got it. yeah, it's... ABD was wondering who to use for Electro in 6.2.5, Poison Node, and Regen Node. I can't remember who I used when I completed the path, but I know both Omega Red and Namor were capable of clearing it. King Groot, I believe, can actually do it. Venom the Duck, I believe, can do it as well. You got to have the Despair Mastery. Despair Mastery plus Healing Champ was good. Blade, I'm pretty sure, can do it. Yeah. There might be some other options that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but yeah, those champs can do it. Thoughts on Doom's Prestige? Good for the game? I don't think so, Enzo. I don't think it's good for the game at all. Maybe in time I can see what Kabam's trying to do, and maybe I'll change my opinion. But yeah, I think his prestige is too high. It's kind of silly how high they made his prestige. I'm all for like prestige going up and stuff like that. And if you know, I kind of said it a couple times now. Like if they wanted to make his prestige higher than Thor Ragnarok's and make him the new highest prestige champ in the game, that's totally fine. Zero issues with that. But I don't know why they felt it was necessary to increase it by so much higher than any other champion. It's possible that he's just like the start of a new wave of prestige, and we might see other champions in that range real soon here. Like the only thing that I can think of as to why they're doing this, if it's in a way that would be good for the game at least, is maybe they're thinking ahead to players being able to rank 3 6-star champions very soon, and maybe they wanted a way to kind of bridge that gap between like the current rank 5 5-stars and rank 3 6-stars. Just something a little bit closer to that like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think it's not gonna end the game. It's not gonna break the game. But yeah, if I could have picked what his prestige was, I would not have set it that high. I could tell you that much. It's essentially, you know, power creep. Like over time, you need things to keep improving, both in like the champion's actual power and their prestige, and you know, the amount of rewards given out and stuff like that. It always needs to like keep increasing, but slowly. This I feel like is just kind of a big jump, an unnecessary jump. What happens when like there's this big of a jump is that it kind of it's kind of similar to what happens when like a champion is too strong. Like that becomes the new benchmark. That becomes what everybody's like comparing to. And if you're not close to that number or that strength of a champion, then you're just like so much less useful than you could be, you know? So yeah. Like the reason why some people might not like the way Doom looks in terms of like his power level, not visually. I don't know anyone who doesn't like him visually. I'm sure there's somebody out there, but man, this dude looks amazing. But the reason why some people will say like, Doom's weak or he's just a prestige champion or something like that, it's not because he's a bad champion. It's because there's champions in the game right now that are able to like destroy fights in a matter of seconds, you know? And not every champion can do that, but when there are champions that exist that are that powerful, it just kind of makes any champion that doesn't live up to that same level of slaughter makes them look weaker, you know? The bar is set too high with some of these champs. So they can make more money this month. Yeah, but in the long run, it doesn't help them. I don't think money is the reason behind his high prestige. How big is the gap between Rags and Doom? What is Thor's exact prestige? Let me look it up. I forget exactly, but it's pretty significant. So Thor is 10,688, and Doom is, what is Doom? Is he like 10,850 or something like that? It's almost a 200-point increase. It's crazy. 200 points higher than any other champ, and that's just compared to Thor Ragnarok. We're not even talking about, like, you know, the other champions that are below Thor Ragnarok that he towers over. So, you know, some of these guys, myself included, who have been like a little bit behind on prestige and finally kind of catching up on things, the champions that we're ranking to kind of catch up, they're just that much faster being turned into old news, you know. As a villain slash hero, Doctor Doom is kind of a major deal in the Fantastic Four slash Marvel Universe. Feel that as a mystic, he's a demigod, but until Thor gets a useful boost, then he's basically the only celeb. Basically the only celeb. I don't know what that means. The only celeb. I mean, Thor really sucks. I think Doom is great though, man. I think Doom is awesome. From what I could see so far, I think he's powerful. Did you read the Hub's last one? Pixie Bell, I don't think so. Let me see. Pulled and duplicated Guillotine 29 tonight today. What? Unfortunately, I have not had the time to watch a testing stream. Can you give me a quick version of your thoughts? I think she's powerful. And I think in some content she's really gonna shine. She's similar, like, you know, she's somewhere between, I would say, Star-Lord and Aegon in terms of like where you can use her. Not necessarily in terms of like overall power. Like in some situations she's gonna be the most powerful of the three. But what I mean by that is, you know, it doesn't take as much ramp-up time as Aegon does. But it is that kind of like infinite scaling champion where like the higher you hold your combo, the more damage you're going to do type of thing. And in the longer quests, Aegon is going to... I mean, Aegon still looks better potentially in like the real long quests where you're able to build them up to like 999. But in other quests, I think Guillotine is better because you really only need to build it to like 100 carry over. You carry over 100 combo, and then your damage is like pretty good from there. What was I gonna say too? Oh yeah, and she doesn't crit, which can be really useful for things. Has like a secondary damage source that it could be really useful in some situations. Especially as, you know, if Kabam adds more like crit countering champions, could be really good. How much are you willing to go in the arena? In this arena? This arena I'm just going for milestones. So I'm going for milestones, and then I might put up like, you know, another couple rounds just to try to get to like the next higher tier of rewards or something. Who is this Mr. Doom guy? Mr. Doom. I can tell you all about him, being the Marvel expert that I am. Mr. Doom hails from Canada, and that's why he wears that suit, because he's cold. It's cold in Canada, and he doesn't want his nipples showing. So he wears that suit. And the reason why he calls himself Doom is because it's mood backwards. He's got a real bad mood sometimes. Angry guy. Terribly angry guy. And, yeah, he's just like a disgruntled Canadian guy with a suit of armor to keep him warm. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else in his story, really. You need to make your husband take on a European vacation and come to Switzerland. Yeah, Laura would love that. She always wants to go everywhere. And I'm like, well, we could go to New York. Maybe one day. Maybe one day, Enzo. Thinks they need a good option for Variant 3. Sounds like she might be a good pull for that. Potentially. Yeah, maybe. She's still so new that, you know, we haven't really seen her full potential yet. I mean, you know, this is still her second round of the arena, so given some time, like apparently she's going to be good for the Abyss when that comes out, and given some time, I'm sure we'll see a bunch more uses for her. This is 100% accurate description, yes? Okay, alright, good. I wanted to make sure I got that right. Are you going to get the Doom bundles? I am not going to get the Doom bundles, no. I don't get any of the offers that come out for money. Even if the Doom crystals were for units, I wouldn't get them either, though, just because it's too low of a chance. Like, sure, people get the champions out of these crystals and stuff, but it's a little too risky. I'd rather spend my units on some other things. Save them for going for champs in the arena, or picking up other offers like the Cyber Monday offer or stuff like that. What do you think I should do? Save up my units for a bundle that would give me 5-star hero shards, or just use them on arena? Don't use your units in the arena. I mean, I just mentioned that I sometimes use my units in the arena. But that's if I'm going for a champion that I think is really going to help me out in a big way. Otherwise, arena is pretty much where you're getting your units from. You want to see the arena as a place where you can spend your time to farm units, shards, gold, all that stuff. The less that you can spend in the arena, the better. What you should do with your units is unlock masteries first. That's pretty much the most important thing. You can spend them on crystals and hope to get one champion, or you can unlock masteries and buff up all of your champions. So when you think about it that way, I mean the masteries, they're just better. Then after you've got some core masteries unlocked, some of the important ones, then there are some offers that Kabam comes out with that are really good for the amount of units that they cost. Not all the offers. Some of their offers kind of stink, but some of them can really help you out if you save up your units. And Cyber Monday is the next biggest one coming up that we kind of know about. We don't know what's going to be in there, but yeah. BG, how much do you think Civil Warrior will go for? Not very much. I was really disappointed to see him in the arena, to be honest. He's not going to go very high at all. 25, 27 million, maybe, something like that. Somebody saw Dave with the 6-star Doom pull. Yeah, I was in his stream a little bit earlier when he was testing him out. Seems awesome. You'd be angry too if you were cold all the time and always had to hide your nipples. That's why I am angry all the time. I hide it on stream, Mike, but I mean, you guys only see from here up. You know what I mean? That's why I'm happy to stream, but in person. Like if you met me at Comic-Con, I was I was a ball of rage. Just very angry all the time. Not happy, not having a good time. Brian said he doesn't like my vacations. This was during one of his rants about needing a vacation, but what he meant was at home. I remember no such conversation. Is 850 units for 1,500 5-star hero shards and a 4-star? No. You don't want to get that. That's not a good way to spend your units. No. There are other offers that'll come out that are a better way to spend your units than that. Plus, like I said, I don't know how many masteries you have unlocked, but you definitely want to unlock some of the more powerful masteries. In roughly some kind of order of importance, I would say. Parry and Dexterity, of course, are the two most important. You probably have those. I'm just going to name it for just in general. Not necessarily for you in particular, but we got other people in here. Some of them might be very new and stuff like that. So Parry and Dexterity. From there, it's a toss-up between picking up some of the defensive options or picking up the offensive ones. I could see arguments for going either way. Offensively, Precision first, then Cruelty. Defensively, picking up Salve and Recovery could be really important. Yeah, I would say once you have those unlocked, at least, and a little bit more flexible with your units, there are definitely other masteries to pick up as well. But, yeah, if you don't have those yet, I can't really imagine any offers being more valuable than picking up those masteries, unless it was an offer that contained mastery cores, because they do have those. So can't fall asleep. No star. I've been there. I was actually just watching a video last night on how to fall asleep, which I've watched plenty of videos on that before, and they don't help, especially because I'm watching the video at like 5 a.m. But by the way, has anyone asked Gabe on Twitter about the background being brighter and what's that? Like, why? Curious about that. Maybe I'll shoot a tweet his way if no one has. Anyway, yeah, this one seems interesting. Like, it was just some guy talking about, he was a drummer, I guess, and talking about how he just kind of, like, taps on his legs in, like, a kind of slow, rhythmic pattern, and just, after a few minutes of that, is able to drift off and go to sleep. I don't know if it'll work. Maybe I'll give it a shot. ABG, one of my favorite aspects about Dr. Doom is that he's easy to pick up and play, but difficult to master. Yeah, he does seem that way. He seems like he seems like he is gonna take some figuring out to really master him, like you said, which is cool. I like that too. I don't know, but it's pretty nice and colorful. It does look nice. The forums made it sound like it's not fully supposed to be as it looks, but not sure. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was curious about that, if that was intentional or not. The brightness change. I'd say like the world, which I guess is the realm. It's the Realm of Champions back there. That world, or the planet off in the distance, that looks normal, but the rocks floating by look a little bit too brightly colored. But I couldn't tell, because, I mean, of course, it doesn't look bad necessarily. Like, it still looks good. It still looks cool, but yeah, I don't know. Gotta invade. Oh no, Roboto. Stick with it, you got it. Have kids, you will never have a problem falling asleep when you get a chance. Well, I ain't having any kids. It's not worth the trade. Hey, but is Mysterio good? Mysterio is good, but he's kind of situationally good. Like, Mysterio is decent in all situations. I mean, see, it actually looks fine right now. The rocks aren't too bright in this screen. It was yesterday when we were looking at the rocks that they looked like pieces of popcorn floating. But here they look good. And with the background, it looks totally fine. It's a little bit bright, and like that might potentially get annoying over time just because the game's kind of dark and maybe that brightness will throw people off. I don't know. But right now, I actually think it's cool. I like it. Something about it, man. It just looks... It's just like a fresh look for it, you know? Such a minor thing, but... Anyway, ooh, just got 50% off Maestro. First attempt. Nice, dude. That's good. Anyway, about Mysterio. Yeah, Mysterio is decent in all situations. Because, even if you don't need his utility, he can gain a lot of power off of Special 3. It boosts his attack by quite a bit. So he's decent in all situations. However, he's only... like, if we're talking about like his best uses, it's quite situational. He's got immunity to reverse controls paired up with Emma Frost. That synergy they have together. He's got damage reflect on his L1, power drain on his L2, and his ability accuracy can't be reduced, so he doesn't take any damage versus Domino. So yeah, he's got some cool things, but unless you really need that utility of his, there are champions that do the job just a little bit better. I get bored sometimes and turn on inverted colors also. Wow. You don't think Civil War will be the first 5-star feature to go for just over milestones? I do not. I think it's going to be very similar to King Groot. BG, if you were grinding for Guillotine 2099, where would you want to be sitting right now, points-wise? Right now, 40, or just below maybe. But I'd be very happy if I got to 40. I would probably be around 35 right now. But the closer I was to 40, the happier I'd be. Pluto is not a planet, and BG is not using suicides. Hey, you shut your mouth about Pluto, okay? Heard about Pluto? It's messed up. I was watching Psych the other night. There's an episode. I can't even remember what episode because I just had it on like a little bit of background to like fall asleep too. And Sean was making fun of Gus for his line about Pluto. This is funny. Where are the suicides? I have them off right now. So I had suicides off for my itemless run earlier today, and I'm gonna be placing my defenders in about 12 hours from right now. And yeah, just to save units from having to change my masteries again, because it gets expensive. So anywhere I could save some units is worth it. If I was grinding for Guillotine, then I would have the suicides back on right now. But I'm just going to be doing some casual arena up until I put the suicides back on. So technically, even after I put the suicides back on, I don't need to play that much more arena this round. I was watching, so I wanted to see some pro gameplay, and because you answered my comment, I subscribed. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate you subscribing. You're in the wrong place if you wanted to see some pro gameplay, though. Actually, technically, according to Kabam, I am a pro. that one time they put that message out there, man. So, BG, who should I rank up, Symbiote Supreme or Gwenpool? They are very different champions. What do you need? What sort of abilities are you lacking right now? I'll tell you just kind of overall, I feel like Sim Supreme is a more important champion to have in your roster. That said, there are some situations that Guillotine, that Gwenpool really excels at that Symbiote Supreme is not really going to be too helpful with. They're both fine champions. You gotta figure out what you're missing, what you need. Did you put in the grind back into grinding? Oh yeah. BG, how do you feel about Dark Hawk? I love Dark Hawk. You just gotta say his name slow and then everything's fine. He's great. I don't have a high ranked one. My best one I think is actually I think I took my 4-star up to 440 recently. It's crazy how I can't even remember, but yeah, here he is. He's almost max sig too, and at some point I'm going to take him up to rank 5 just because I like playing with him. Not, you know, I don't have a real need to use him outside of the arena, but he's fun. I really enjoy his synergy too, especially with Venom. 30% power rate against villains, 10% crit rate against heroes. So good, man. So crazy good. That one with Hawkeye is great too. Combine both of those, Darkhawk, it's a monster after that. But yeah, I don't have him as a high rank, so I don't really use him at all. You subscribe for gameplay, I subscribe for puppy time. Well, appreciate you both. Pro gameplay in day stream today, IMO. Well, okay. That was pretty good. Every once in a while I could pull off some things. So yeah. I was happy about that one. Proud of that one, I'd say. Which exploration would you focus on first? Labyrinth 100% or Variant 1 100%? Variant, for sure. Well, actually, for the most part, I would say Variant. For most people. However, so okay, let me put it like this. Both of those pieces of content are very difficult. Some of the most difficult things in the contest, for sure. And depending on the champions that you have, one is going to be a little bit easier than the other. The rewards in Variant, I would say, are better. And I would say it's also, for most people, probably a little bit easier to kind of pick apart path-wise. Especially because, you know, even just completing a chapter will give you some rewards, like the 2015 rank-up gems. And that can be pretty important for planning out your account and progression overall and stuff like that. So typically, I would say Variant is what you should focus on. The however part is if you have like a 565 Aegon or something like that, then Labyrinth might actually be easier. It's still, you know, it's still tough, but because of how well someone like a 565 Aegon can do in Labyrinth, and maybe, let's say you don't have the strongest Science and Cosmic roster, then yeah, Labyrinth could be easier. And even though the rewards, I would say, are not as good as Variant, they're still nice. Still worth getting. So. Speaking of Labyrinth, Roboto saying Maestro down, killed him with X-Pool. Nice, dude. 91% explored now. Nice, man. Crushing it. Which is better, Void or Sentry? For the most part, Void is the better of the two champions. Sentry is... he's not terrible, but yeah. Doesn't really get a whole lot of love. There was only one person in the entire community that loved him. And unfortunately, that person stopped playing. Shout out to Idolist. I'm sure he wasn't the only one, but he's the only one. He's the most vocal about him, I'd say. Love my Dark Hawk. Took him to 565 Sig 140 at the moment. Nice, man. Yeah, I'd love to get a, or I'd love to rank Dark Hawk. I did just pull him not too long ago. Oh man, now I have him and Sentinel. 2 champions that I've been waiting for forever. Bought both $50 bundles today and pulled 6-star Doom and 6-star Guillotine. What? How many lottery tickets should I buy? Well, you already bought $50 worth. Or I guess times 2 if there was 2 $50 bundles. Holy crap, man. Wow. Good lord. Both of them as 6 stars? Jeez. That's pretty nuts, man. Congrats. Hello, my beautiful hairless creature. Have you heard more about Elsa? I don't even have a an Elsa. Almost called her Helsa for a second. I don't have an Elsa. So even the things that I hear about her, which I don't hear too many things. I don't even know how she works. She seems to be kind of annoying on defense. I fought her once and I didn't have any issues, but I guess depending on the node, she could be a real pain. Did you stream in the new event quest at all? Good question. Probably not. But let me check my shards and see if I'm close to getting a new 6-star or something. Because maybe. When are you streaming next? Well, I stream every night. Same time. 10 p.m. Pacific. For about 2 hours. Day streams, they're kind of all over the place. I probably won't be streaming tomorrow during the day, but sometimes I stream during the day. Let me see. That is the wrong area. I need to go to crystals. Okay. Ah, man. See, this puts me in a rough spot. Well, no, I mean, it's a good spot. I'm about to complain about something that's good. I could stream all of Uncollected and get enough 6-star shards to open up a 6-star crystal. But that actually takes a bunch of energy refills. And that's kind of why I was saying, like, a little bit of a rough spot. Like, I want to get the 6-star. Did the pool update yet? Nope. Okay, the pool's updating in 2 weeks anyway. Alright, so, you know, I'm going to wait. I want the updated pool. Yeah. So, no, I don't think I'm going to be streaming the event quest. Maybe during the next completion event, maybe I'll save some energy. I'll try to save up some energy refills. And maybe I'll clear that out so I can open up a 6-star crystal. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. About to start the collector fight. Please send good vibes. Zach, you got this, man. I believe in you. You can take down that collector. You got this. Follow-up question. Should I rank 2 either Doom or Guillotine? Or rank 5 one of my 5s? I don't have a rank 5 5-star yet. You want to go with your 5-star. I don't know what 5-star, but you want to go with a 5-star. Both Doom and Guillotine seem like good champions. You know what? I need to spend some of this energy. Let me check my stash. Maybe I'll wait for that new quest to roll around. Cause yeah, I'm good on skill stuff. All right, never mind. I'll save the energy. Both Doom and Guillotine seem like good champions. But they're more expensive to rank up than 5 stars, and they don't seem like the type of champions that you would use everywhere. If it was just some universally good champion that like you can use to beat story content, Alliance War, Alliance Quest, everything with this champion, maybe it'd be a different story. But yeah, I don't think these champions can do it all. And you wanna, if you rank up a 5-star, you'll still have a tier 5 basic towards your next rank up compared to if you went with a 6-star. And the more you can start kind of diversifying your rank ups and covering more territory in the game and stuff, the better off you'll be. Those 6-star champions you pulled, really awesome that you got them, but they're not going anywhere. You can rank them up later. Hey BG, now that the side quest rewards are bumped up, which side will you be taking? The shard side or resource side? You have to pick? I didn't realize that. I want the 6 stones. I'm guessing that's the resource side? I'm gonna have to go look at the forums real quick. See exactly what you're talking about. Act 6 free-to-play stream. Are you asking when my next one's gonna be? I don't know when my next one's gonna be. Maybe Sunday. Depending on which path I'm looking at taking out next, and if my champions will be available or if they'll be locked up and stuff. Probably Sunday. Sundays are just good days to do stuff like that. There's usually not a ton going on. Both sides have 6 stones? Oh, okay. Okay. Hold on, is there... I'm sure there's a picture I could look at real quick on the forums. Because I'm curious now that you say we have to pick. Attack on the Nexus? No, that was... Wait, is that the one? No. Doom Invasions, right? Yeah, okay. Updated November 4th. Okay, here it is. No, these rewards have been updated. See below. Okay. So... Oh, you pick between the Fantastic Invasion or Doom Invasion? That's the drill here. So 6-star shards. I will probably be going with the catalyst, but I don't know, I gotta take a closer look at things. I don't know. I gotta think about it some more. I want sig levels, and if I get the shards, then I can get more sig levels. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Yuki sending over 9 of them Polish bucks with the dancing pair, saying, "Hey you." Thank you, Yuki. Appreciate it, man. The new super sticker. That's what they're called, right? Thanks, man. Oh, they rotate? You don't pick? Oh. Oh. Okay. Read the chat, you expired banana. Wow. Hobbit, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Whoa. Hobbit. Are you potentially where I think you are? But okay, yeah, sorry guys. I didn't realize that. I see a lot of people saying it now. They alternate, you don't pick. Got it. Yo, BG, when is the Glory Store being updated? I don't know when it's being updated, but the new Alliance quest changes, they're happening on the 15th, I think it was, right? So maybe on the 15th, maybe someone else in here can answer that. I never know what's going on in the game, man. I just kind of play some arena and that's pretty much it, man. Whatever's in the game is in the game, and yeah, it probably is a good thing to know about though. Can save some glory maybe for the reduced cost. Figure out what the new updated prices are. You know what? I'm gonna go look at the forums. Son of a B-manny, dude. All right. Is it in this one with the Alliance Quest modifiers? Nope. What do they even talk about the Glory Store being up? Is there actually? Yeah. Before I look at the forums, is there a post that says what the update to the Glory Store is going to be, or do they just mention it like, hey, there's also going to be an update to the Glory Store? Play some arena, and when you finish, everything's different. Another world. What do you think about the AQ optional buffs modifying overall score? I don't know how much it's gonna matter. I'd imagine that most, well, maybe not most. I imagine a lot of alliances would pick to do like the global buff to get the extra rewards either way, because the rewards seem pretty nice. So yeah, if they counted or not, for some people it's not going to change anything at all. I don't know if it's better that they count or not though. It does give alliances ways to kind of push ahead if they have the skills but don't have the prestige, and think that they can surpass alliances that have the prestige but don't have the skills. It's good in that sense, but it does feel less optional when it increases the score. It does feel more mandatory. I want to do it whether it increases the score or not, though. An extra 5,400 fragments per AQ series. It's pretty nice. At first, I thought you had to have all 5 globals on the same day, and I was thinking, no, this is going to be terrible. But then when I found out, oh, it's just 1 global a day, I don't think it'd be too bad. Maybe it will be though. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe when maybe when I'm actually playing it, maybe I'll be like, oh no, this is too much. These nodes are okay. So I guess I should say this too. I'd probably prefer it to not be in the game at all. Like if you gave me a set of options: 1, add globals to Alliance Quest. Or hold on, let me take that back. Start over. 1, don't add globals to Alliance Quest. Option 2, add globals, but don't make them count towards your overall AQ score. Or option 3, add globals and make them count towards your arena score. Like that's the option that that's the option that Kabam is giving us right now. I'd prefer them to just probably not exist. Just keep Alliance Quest how it is right now. But I don't know, man. On the other hand, it is nice to get 5,400 extra tier 5 basic, assuming that's what we do. I guess the only thing I'm really worried about is that some paths are much more difficult than others in AQ, and I really feel for those people on those more difficult paths that are now going to have to handle like the global node too. And I don't know what that's going to do to players, if that's going to make them not want to play the game anymore and stuff. That's why I guess I'd rather them just not be in the game, period. But yeah, we'll see. Wait, so I only have 2 paths left, and Labyrinth is 100%, but I also want to do Event Quest, Decisions, Roboto. Do the Event Quest. Labyrinth will be there. BG, congrats on getting those 3 paths done at 6.2. Must feel good finally getting some done. Yeah, dude. It does feel good. Woke up super early this morning, and now I'm trying to play Arena while sleepy, and just lost my Arena streak in the 5-star featured. Oh, man. Been there. It always stinks. Just found the forum post. It looks like the Glory Store is being updated on the 15th as well. Okay. BG, what do you think about the Colossus buff? Seems good overall. I haven't really got a chance to play him since the update. I only tested him very briefly on the beta months back, but I mean, it's definitely an improvement. And he seems like Pandaman Pete already ranked 5 his. Seems like he could be a potential rank 5 option if, depending on what your needs are. Synergizes with Omega Red. That's always good. Global buffs to buff the AQ score was activated last week by some alliances. They could open Day 6 AQ. Day 6 AQ, wasn't that just because of daylight savings time? Where they gave an additional hour to people, but some people were able to use that additional hour to start the 6th day? That wasn't because of global buffs, right? I didn't really look into it much. Seems like a lot of resources to spend to open up a 6th day. Of course, if you were like in contention for being rank 1 or something like that, then maybe it would have been worth it. But open up an extra day of, or of course, a lot of people just buy those resources and don't get them through legitimate means. So there's always that too. But farming those resources to open an extra day to score a tiny bit more points, not worth. Yeah, some paths might get the poop end of the stick with some globals. Yeah, dude. I think that's been a problem with Alliance Quest since the beginning of Map 7. It's kind of always been a thing where there's like a little bit of a range of difficulties in Alliance Quest. And that's fine. But I do still think some paths are out of control. And they're a bit much for something that you're playing every day, man. It's kind of silly in my opinion. I'm all for tough content. But in some areas of the game, I feel like maybe it's just a little bit too much. And then you add like the globals on top of it, and yeah, man, it just kind of makes me feel bad for those people. Cause yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a problem on my paths. There's gonna be some troublesome fights for sure, and it's gonna make it more difficult to heal up with Hyperion depending on who I'm fighting, and yeah, it's a little bit of a pain, but you know, using a couple extra potions here and there to get an extra 5400 tier 4 or tier 5 basic is like, okay, that's fine. But then you have some paths where it's like, man, people are gonna potentially be iteming out and maybe not be able to get through their path, and it's gonna it's gotta feel real bad for that person. Hey BG, how much have you invested in MCOC already? Are you talking about money-wise? I don't spend any money in this game. So 0. But if we're talking time-wise, oh, good lord. My entire life. How many paths you have left in 6.2? 8. 8 paths remaining. Feeling good. Almost done. Final 8 paths. And yeah, I'll probably hop back in there on Sunday. But we'll see. It's a little bit tough for me to plan that far out. I'm definitely not going to get in there before Sunday. I shouldn't say definitely. Maybe on Saturday. But probably not. What was I gonna say? Hold on. I want to check something too. Just kind of thinking about the arena coming up and stuff. Check this 5-star. Yeah, my Civil War is already awake, and I thought so. Legitimate means that free-to-play is shade. You telling BG? Well, it's not a free-to-play versus spending thing. When I was talking about like the alliance donations, I was talking about like some people use bots to get those resources, which you should not do. You definitely should not do. It's either using bots or paying someone else to use bots. That's what I'm talking about by illegitimate means. If you're spending money to get units, to donate with units and stuff like that, that's legit. That's just as legit as farming arena for the resources and getting the units that way. Most annoying boss so far? Most annoying? I don't know who the most annoying is. I was thinking about it earlier. Who's the most difficult boss in 6-2? And I think it's Mordo. I think the Mordo boss is actually more. Is he more difficult than the champion? I don't know. I mean, the champion's pretty damn tough. Maybe, maybe champion's still more difficult. I don't know. So Doom with the big 10,850 prestige. The moment I saw the prestige, I was like, man, he's gonna suck. I mean, have you seen some videos yet, Dupes? He seems like he's pretty good. He just doesn't have that explosive damage of like a Ghost or Corvus, but he seems good. DJ, wish I had the resources to rank 5 Colossus. He's so much fun right now. Is he, Cody? You're enjoying him? That's cool, man. I gotta try him out sometime here. Again, I took him to rank 4 along with Old Man Logan. But I just, haven't had time since the update. Not even that $5 deal for a 5-star a while back. No, I haven't spent anything. No, I haven't. Heard he seems like a decent utility champ. Yeah, so Cade did some testing. I know Legacy posted a video. Dave's did a bunch of testing. I haven't checked out. I saw Captain Bay post a video. I'll probably check that out too. I'm sure there's others out there too that I'm just haven't seen posted, but yeah, it seems pretty cool. If you just get my message, sorry man, it's a lot of people. I try to catch as many as possible, but it just kind of happens. So I'm just picking out random comments here and there. Happy G, are you going for featured dungeon crystal or basic? When it comes to the dungeon crystals, I go for the actual dungeon crystals that have only 10 champions in it. Normally I'm all about the basics. When it comes to like your actual shards and stuff like that, basics all the way for me. But the cost increase from a basic crystal to a basic crystal to a dungeon crystal is not nearly as big of a cost increase from a basic 5-star to a featured 5-star. And it's a little bit more of a narrow pool of champs. You only have 10 champions, so 10% to get the one that you want, and not counting the other ones in there that you might want. So yeah, I think it's worth the increased cost. Dave pulled 6-star too. Crazy? Yeah, man. Dave getting that 6-star. Have some feedback on Unawakened Havoc. I don't know a ton about Havoc. He's one of the champions that I haven't really played much. I tested him way back, but I don't know a ton about him. I know he's a solid champion. Some people say his awakened ability is pretty important. I remember some people saying they preferred to play the champ without him awakened. I don't know if that's still true or if that was just because he was, you know, like Havoc was still new and people were still figuring him out. But I don't know a ton about him. What I can say about Havoc though is I don't think he should be a champion that you rank up as like one of your first few champions to like the higher ranks, you know? So like let's say you were looking at taking up, let's say you were at the point in the game where you got a bunch of 5 stars and you're looking to take one up to rank 5. It's going to be your first rank 5 star. You probably don't want it to be Havoc. You probably want a couple of other rank ups first before you got Havoc up there, just because while he can do a bunch of things, he's a little bit slow in the average fight situation. Has a little bit more of that niche utility of incinerate immunity and energy damage and stuff like that. Good champ to fill in those gaps after you rank up a few. That's how I see the champ, at least. Could be wrong. Licks lips and bites lower lip. Oh, hey, Bry guy. How you doing, sweetness? Wow. What's up, Demiak? By the way, Demiak, I see your... Just reminds me, because I'm looking at your member badge. It's temporary, guys, if anyone was curious about that. It didn't come out as good as I had hoped it would. I changed your face. It's no, it was there for a good while. Your face served a good purpose there, Demiak. But yeah, I had to change it at some point. But yeah, it's just temporary until I figure out how to make it look better. I wish I could show you guys the full picture. Because without it being all shrunk down to the size of I don't even know. It's like 30 by 30 pixels or something crazy tiny. 32 by 32 or something like that. Yeah, without shrinking it down, I thought it looked pretty cool. Disappointed to see my face gone, but I understand. Maybe make an emoji at some point. Maybe. I think I still have your face saved somewhere, so probably do that. How to remove chat? You want to remove the chat? I don't know. Is it hovering over the video for you? Is that why you want to remove it? Because normally in the streams, the chat is like separate from the video itself. But I guess depending on your device, it might be displaying over the video, and I don't know. I heard someone pulled a 6-star Doom and duped him. I'm sure somebody out there is lucky enough to do that. BG Mine is rank 4, naturally Sig 140, but he was having issues with Guillotine 2099 and Event Quest, so I took her down with Colossus and sent it to him. Nice. Damn, dude, Sig 140 naturally. Crazy. It's a lot of pulls. BG, what are your views on murking? After all, it is social service. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know exactly what you mean by social service. If that's like a way to... If you're thinking that's a way of like justifying it or something, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good at all. I think, you know, on one hand, everyone can play the game the way they want to play the game, but I feel like, what's the point of playing the game if you're just having someone else play for you? I can't imagine it's fun, but I guess some people enjoy it. Some people have fun with it. That's just on like a personal level. In terms of for everybody, like how it affects the entire player base, it is a hugely negative thing. It's absolutely cheating, you know? Like imagine you're trying to go for a new champion in the arena, and you're playing as much as you can, as much free time as you have available. But you gotta sleep, right? Among other things, but hey, at the very least you gotta sleep. Well, if you're paying other people to do it, you guys could rotate and you don't have to, there's no sleep. It's just 72 straight hours of go, go, go. How do you compete with something like that? You don't. You get cheated against. Or playing Alliance War. I'm sure in your alliance there are some players that are better than others. Maybe you're one of the best in your alliance, or maybe you're not. Or maybe you're somewhere in between. But I'm sure you can imagine that if only the best player is controlling everybody, they're going to do a lot better than if it was a range of players working together. And once again, the alliance on the other end of that is just getting cheated against. In terms of solo content, well, it skews the data. Kabam adjusts the difficulty partially based on how many people are able to get through each piece of content. And if you're paying someone to get through content that you couldn't otherwise get through, well, Kabam sees that as you can get through that content, and depending on how many people are doing that, paying someone else to go beyond their means, well, it just makes the game more difficult for everyone else. That last one I don't mind as much because, well, I like the game to be difficult, but I'm sure a lot of other people out there don't like that. There's a whole lot of negatives. There are more negatives than what I'm saying right now. Hello, you awesome fighter. Hello. Thank you for calling me an awesome fighter. Hi, BG. Finally got a 4-star Hyperion. Congratulations. Hyperion is a fantastic champ. Love me some hype. Sup, BG. What up, dude? I think it was Dave that got a 6-star. Yeah, no, Dave definitely got a 6-star. Hopefully I'm not spoiling it at this point. He posted it a while ago today. But yeah, you should definitely check that out. Hopefully Dave makes a sweet video on Doom 2. I don't know if he's working on one or anything, but he's put out some great champion videos in the past. Hopefully he does again. Hey BG, I have tier 4 Mystic expiring. My options to use it are Unawakened Morning Star or Unawakened Mephisto. Both 5-star, rank 2, rank 3. Who is better in Act 6? Morning Star, in my opinion. As far as like a rank 3 champion, though, rank 3 is rough just in general when it comes to Act 6. You would eventually you'd probably need to take them to rank 4 before they would be of any use, for the most part. But yeah, I personally prefer Morningstar. It's possible that there might be some synergies that Mephisto brings to the table that could technically make Mephisto better. And Mephisto is a solid champion in his own right. But Morningstar, if you can get her built up, and kind of like what I was doing earlier today, is nice and helpful. Going to sleep, have a good stream, BG. Hopefully you get Guillotine 2099. I'm just going for milestones, so I got no plans on getting her. But alright, have a good one, dude. BG, you think Act 6.3 final boss will be harder than the champion? I don't know. Potentially. I think Kabam seemed pretty open to taking feedback that players gave from 6.2 though. So I think 6.3 is going to be different in a number of ways. And maybe if the fight is more difficult, maybe they won't make the path as long to get to the boss so that it's easier to kind of reset, bring in other champions, that type of thing, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. Was that final boss open for the people that did the beta testing? I'm not even sure. Maxed out precision and cruelty, but my champs still feel weak. Weaker, like as weak as if you didn't have those masteries, or weak compared to what you're seeing other people do with their champs? Because those masteries definitely help. It might not seem as powerful if you're watching someone play with like the suicide masteries, for example. The suicide masteries do more than anything in terms of making a character strong, but they also come with a downside, whereas precision and cruelty really don't. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. What you're comparing it to, I should say. I have hype at rank 5, unawakened though. I know he needs that awakened ability, but I enjoy playing around with him, so yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Is Doom the current Prestige King, or does Fraggle Rock still top him? No, Doom towers over Fraggle Rock by quite a bit, by nearly 200 points, actually. You've used the same champs forever and still not bored. Why does it bother you what champs the rest of us use? Not trying to be a dick, but I can always, I guess that's you. You can always choose to switch it up if you get bored. Well, are you talking about how I prefer some champions to not be overpowered compared to others? Because people can use whatever champions they want. And if you're not bored of it, that is fine. But if people are only sticking to the same champions because they're overpowered, in some cases significantly more powerful than the rest of the champions, then that kind of sets the standard. And if you're using anything weaker, you're playing at a big disadvantage. Content will be balanced around these stronger champions. Oh crap. Before I said that, I just got sidetracked. I was gonna say I had another reason. It totally just slipped my mind. Hold on, it'll come to me. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So and it also just kind of trivializes my favorite part of the game, the strategy and planning for certain quests. Yeah, I could choose to use 5 different champions to handle a quest, but that's not fun to me. If like I'm always looking for like the best thing to play, the most powerful thing to play. That's just how games work, really, you know. Like, yeah, there are some times where you just kind of screw around, but a lot of times the point of the game is to get through the challenge. And if something is so strong that like one champion can get through an entire challenge, compared to having to like mix things up and play a variety of champions, stuff like that, well, I'm gonna use that champion. That's just kind of how it works for most people, I would say. But if that wasn't an option, then I would have more fun having to come up with different strategies, use different champions, not play the game with the same champion day in, day out for every single quest. And maybe you're not getting bored, but there's definitely players who have quit because they're bored. Some people, I don't even think, are able to see it necessarily. As to like why they lose interest in the game. They just think they're, you know, losing interest in the game. Because, I mean, we all lose interest in every game over time. But maybe people can't pinpoint exactly that, oh, the strongest champion that they were able to pull happened a year ago. And it's not as exciting anymore when new champions come out, like Doom. Doom is a great champion. But when Doom comes out and doesn't live up to the explosive firepower of some of these other champions, well, suddenly that hype disappears a lot quicker than normal. And some of the excitement is lost. Game starts to feel a little bit less interesting. And players quit. What's up, BG? Impressive run earlier today. I was stressed out while watching the finale. Can't imagine how you felt. Nick, thanks, man. Yeah, dude, my heart was beating pretty hard, man. My heart was beating pretty hard, dude. I was really happy that I was able to do that. I wasn't super confident going in, just because of past performance and stuff like that. But I feel much more confident now that I was able to take him out that time. So I'm looking forward to going in there again. What's up, Pete? You know, Pete, it feels like your bush is on fire. You should probably see a doctor. It could be nothing, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, dude. Is my bush on fire? I'm the burning bush. It came out pretty poor, man. Before it got all smushed down to the tiny emoji size that it is. It was looking all right. It was looking all right. Wasn't looking amazing, but it was looking all right. Did you do the newest variant item list too? I did. Variant 3, yeah. Yeah. Hey BG, thank you for answering my question earlier. With that said, when do you think it's a good time to rank to a 6? I'm sitting on SIG 45 Darkhawk. I've been wanting to rank. You have a SIG 45 6-star Darkhawk? Damn, dude, that's pretty awesome. Well, it's a tough question to answer. For some people have hit the point where I think it's fine to rank to 6 stars. It's just very few people. We're talking about like less than 1% of the people playing the game that I think it's like a good idea to be ranked 2ing 6 stars. There's a few things that it depends on. Number one, there's always exceptions. So you might really need... Darkhawk's a little bit tougher because I don't think there's anything that you really need that champion for. Even though he's great, I would love to have a ranked up Darkhawk and everything like that. But there are some cases where you just really absolutely need a very specific champion. Let's say Void. So you pulled the 6-star Void and you were lucky enough to awaken him, and you're tasked with taking certain path in Alliance War where you need to use that Void and you don't have a 5-star version or anything like that. So in order to save resources going through war and potentially winning more wars and stuff like that, in that case, it's fine to sacrifice an extra tier 5 basic over a 5-star and rank up that Void. And there's a number of situations like that, right? It's just an example. The other situation where I think it's good to rank up 6 stars is if you already have a bunch of ranked up 5 stars. You kind of have the majority of the game covered with the all the 5 stars that you did rank up. And I don't know if there is an exact number. It probably depends on the champions that you ranked. I still very much so want to rank a lot more 5 stars personally. I have 14 at the moment. There's a bunch more that I want to rank up. But yeah, and then like I guess there's not an exact number of 5 stars. It's more of it's easier to start comparing 6 stars. Like if you have certain things covered already, you can start looking at 5 stars and saying like, I don't know if I'd really use this champion, but it'd be nice to have like this specific node covered if it ever comes up. but it's kind of rare, so maybe I can look at my 6 stars and see who I want to rank there, maybe to help get through a 6-star gate, something like that. You know, it's just for the most part you want to, like the 5 stars are just cheaper, and you just get more out of them for the price. Well, I gotta go use Colossus for 200k more points. Have fun, guys. All right, Pete. Dude, you don't have a 6-star X-Men character? Get more points. Jizz, what's up, dude? What's up, BG? How's your day? Haven't been on for a long time. Just wanted to stop by and say what's up. Dude, my day was great. Hope yours was too. Good to see you, man. It has been a little while. Hope you're doing well. BG, since Doom's Prestige is 200 points above Thor Rags, means next year we're going to get multiple champs with Prestige higher than Thor Rags. Any thoughts? I think we are going to get champs higher than Thor Rags, yeah. Which is fine. It's just kind of weird that it's so much higher. BG, by no means am I asking, but this topic about champ usage and finding new exciting way to use champs make me wish we could talk about it live on stream. I got a lot to say on that topic. Yeah. I think there is a lot to say in it, so yeah. It'd be a good, you know, maybe I'll make the maybe we can make the suggestion to Cam and Star. Is Star still in here? Maybe that could be a topic of their podcast or something like that. That'd be cool. If you're having to smush the bush, it's probably time for a trim. Wow. What would you do to compensate those that spend a bunch of rank up resource, awakening gems, 6 stones, and even money on a champ that is no longer the same champ you invested in? I don't know, and that's part of the problem. Is when playing a free-to-play game that you directly spend to gain these champions and rank materials and stuff like that in game, it becomes much more difficult to balance. And that's why we haven't seen balance in the game. I think in any other type of game, and this is my biggest concern with Realm of Champions, by the way. I'm still keep meaning to make a video talking more about it in depth, but I think in any other game where it's like just imagine you started out with all of these characters. It was just a standard fighting game. You have every single character, or maybe you just you paid one time for the game, and you didn't buy individual characters and stuff like that. I feel like most people would agree that some champions are just significantly stronger than others. And that's not necessarily a bad thing to have, like, champions of varying power levels. It gives you something to chase. And if you know, I really enjoy the part of the game where it's like you pop some crystals, you get some champions, but you don't have control over it. Sometimes you get some good ones, sometimes you get some bad ones. But no matter what you get, you have to play the hand you're dealt. And you have to get creative sometimes, and in order to get through some content with some crappier champions, sometimes you can overcompensate that with skill, and sometimes you have to be patient. And it makes the game really fun. But certain champions, I feel, are so much stronger that it does take away from that fun. But as far as like compensating, I have no idea. I don't know if there is a way to make people happy who spent on a character that gets nerfed. I don't know. It's one of the biggest things that I've learned while playing this game is that if you're developing a game, a free-to-play game, you have to be much closer to perfect than developers of non-free-to-play games. And devs just trying something, trying to get creative, trying to, you know, come up with some new style of play, like Ghost with her phasing. I think they're just genuinely trying to make something fun and interesting to keep people playing the game. I don't think they knew when they created the character how dominant the character would be, and that you could use her to cover every single immunity in the game, cover anti-evade. That one, they probably knew that one. Maybe I wonder if that was a technical limitation though, or something. I don't know. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't know people were gonna have as much control of phasing as they did. Either way, maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't properly test with the special 2 boost and how you could just cycle L2s repeatedly. Maybe it wasn't intentional that the synergy with Hood will make you immune to all damage, including special 3s. But the fact is, all these things do exist. Because of it, you don't need power control champions. They're not nearly as interesting, such as Doom, like I said earlier. Characters that should be more interesting because power control is such a powerful thing in this game. But who cares if you never have to worry about the enemy hitting a special 3 while doing the most damage without any ramp up. Hopefully these new high prestige champs don't exceed Doom's and instead fill in that 200 point gap between Thor and him. They probably will. I'm sure it's going to be all over the place. I imagine it's mostly going to fill in the gap between the two. But I still wish it wasn't as high. I wish it was just like 10,700 flat. 10,700. That would be ideal for me. It would get difficult for devs to find new things to add to champs to keep it from getting stale. Yeah, exactly. So they have to add these new things, but you know, you add something new and they don't know how powerful it's going to be. They test what they can, but hey, it takes the community a while to figure out how strong certain things are, you know? BG couldn't fit in my last, but I'm definitely pro diverse champ use. Variant taught me to create a very diverse roster to handle matchups, and that's what I've done. Yeah, Cody, I would say your roster and the way you're playing, like, yeah, you definitely have a diverse set of champs. I think it's really cool. I wake up my 5-star Cap Infinity during the week. Can't wait to test him out in the new monthly quest. Nice, dude. That's a good champ to awaken. Less hits needed to KO is like power control too. It is. Yeah. Omega Red has a similar problem, I would say, where Omega Red can handle all or nothing nodes. Not all of them. Like if they have power gain or something like that, he can't tank a special 3 so much. But because Omega Red is able to deal so much damage in such a small number of hits, Omega Red is basically a power control champion, you know? And I think it's cool that there are different ways to approach different nodes where, so for power control, maybe you don't, you know, it's interesting that Quake can go through a node that somebody has power gain on, and because you're not hitting the enemy, they're not gaining power. And yeah, you can approach it that way, or you can approach it with power lock and power drain, or Omega. Yeah, some of these things are like pretty cool, man. That's what makes the game fun and interesting. But there are some times where it's a little over the top, and then it kind of eliminates the need for certain parts of the game. Like why do certain parts of the game even exist if like depending on if something is too strong, you know? BG wants Omega nerfed confirmed. If it were up to me, I would adjust many champions. I would adjust many champions. I say Ghost a lot because I think she's the most over the top. But there's a lot of champions that I would change. I don't know how many. At one point, like, I started making a list just like for myself, just for fun, kind of, because I don't know, for some reason that's fun for me to think about. But I never really finished that list. But if I had to guess, yeah, I'd probably adjust a solid 15 champions or so. Brian wants every champ in the game at the same power level. No, that's definitely not true. I was just saying that I think it's good that some champions are stronger than others. Like 5 minutes ago on the stream. But certain things, yeah, I would absolutely adjust. And when I say adjust, like, let's say I had control, like actual control, like I was in the Kabam balancing department and actually got to tweak the numbers of things and stuff like that. I would never make any of these champions bad. Like Corvus here, that I'm fighting against, is a great example. I would adjust Corvus, absolutely. But I wouldn't make him bad. Like, I wouldn't even take his damage away. I think it's very weird that Corvus is shock immune, though, for example. I would pull that from the champion entirely. Why is he shock immune? Why aren't other champions shock immune? Why does he cover that? It's weird to me. Like, he's already so good. If you pulled that from the champion, Corvus would still be amazing. He'd still be used all the time. There's not even that much shock in the game. But when there is a shock node, okay, like, that's an opportunity to use a different champion. I need to go do a different arena. Done with the 5 stars. I don't think my 6s... No, they're up very soon. Okay, after the stream I'll run those before bed. I'd pull the anti-evade function from Ghost. No clue why they added that to her when she is so OP. I wonder about that sometimes with Ghost. Like, I wonder if that was like a technical limitation where, because they're like attacking her while she's phased, if they really needed that hit to land, like maybe it bugged the game out if the enemy evaded or something. If like the enemy was too close to you while you're phased. I always wondered about that. It's probably not it. They probably just did that because they didn't realize how much control people would have over that character. Because it did take time for players to adjust, and I'm sure when they were designing the character, they didn't have full mastery of it either, you know? So they probably just added that ability just to, like, make sure that people played the character, you know? Greetings, BG. You're talking about nerfing champs again. Sort of. Hey, I didn't start the conversation. Somebody was just asking about why I, thought it would make the game better, I guess, even though I have the option to not play these characters, and what I would do to compensate players who did spend, which, like I said, I have no idea, and I totally understand why players wouldn't want things nerfed. I'd hate to walk into Best Buy and buy a laptop and take it home and then find out it was running way better in the store. I'd want my money back. I'd be pissed. But that's like a customer. I always think there's like two different mentalities: a customer mentality and a player mentality. And of course, if you buy something, no, you want it to be good. But if you're looking at it strictly from like a gameplay side of things, well, for some people they wouldn't adjust anything, and that is how they want the game played, and that's fair. But I think for like the overall having the best game, you got to look at things that are out of balance. Here's the other thing too. If you buy something, you want it to be strong, right? You don't want that value to diminish. So OG Vision. people spent money on OG Vision. For those offers that came around, it was available for units, but I know some people spent money to get those units. That character didn't get a direct nerf. That character is just as good today as he was when he was first released. But relative power to these other characters, his power has diminished hugely. So indirectly, he got nerfed because of other champions coming out that are vastly superior. And that's just, over time, that's just power creep. That's the nature of power creep. Over time, stronger and stronger champions need to be released. Otherwise, none of them are going to be interesting. Why even look at a new character if you already have the best character? So they need to have some level of increasing power. But when it's a big jump in power and eliminates the need for certain abilities, then you just paid for a lemon. And essentially, like you could say the same thing. Like, I want my money back. I want my units back for OG Vision. He's not needed anymore. Now, he is still needed in some cases. I'm not trying to say like OG Vision is garbage and stuff like that. I'm just saying we used to see him used much more frequently. But over time, that value dropped off faster than I think it should. So use OG Vision with Heimdall synergy to beat Sinister in 6.2.2. No potions or revives. Ghost isn't doing that. You're right. Ghost doesn't need Heimdall. Ghost is able to do that without the synergy. Hey BG just made a post about this on the forums. She-Hulk's Petrified debuff from Special 2 is unable to stop Doom's aura from activating. Have you tried this with any other champs yet? I haven't fought Doom a single time yet. I'm sure he's available to duel, right? But I haven't even tried fighting him yet. Sinister was Ghost kicking the nuts. No, guys, Ghost is able to take out Sinister by himself or by herself. You don't even need any synergies. You just throw a heavy attack. I guess you might need the Ghost synergy because it's a passive shock, I think, right? So you might need the Ghost synergy to deal with any incoming shock damage. But you don't need the Heimdall synergy. You throw a heavy, you get your Fury, and then you pop L3s. People streamed that. How many units do you think Vision is worth today? Oh, hard to say, Nick. I mean, they are still adding Vision in some of these other... they're adding Vision in some of these other synergies, and I feel like they're trying to keep him relevant. Like the synergy with Warlock seems pretty good for him, but I don't know. It's tough. I mean, from a collector's standpoint, I'm not mad that I got him. I still would have spent those units just because I like to have the character. I like to be prepared for any situation. There's going to be some situations where OG Vision is still useful, and depending on what champion restrictions they have in the game, Ghost, you might not be able to bring her to a quest, whereas you would be able to bring OG Vision. So yeah, I'm not really upset that I got OG. It was more of an example with that champion. But I don't know. I would say his value definitely did go down. That's for sure. Do you think I shouldn't rank my 5-star Ghost up at the chance should get altered or modified? No, I think you should rank her. Number one, I actually don't think Ghost is going to get changed. I don't think any of these champions are going to get changed. Mostly because I like, it's kind of like I was saying. I mean, Kabam knows. That's the problem. Is Kabam knows that people are not going to be happy. It's going to make people not want to spend anymore going forward, knowing that their champions could get changed at any time. I don't know, and I guess even if she does get changed, like Kabam is going to have to come up with some kind of compensation, rank down tickets. Maybe they're more advanced than back in 12.0 where they have like gem extraction tickets or something like that where you can get awakening gems back, sig stones back. I don't know, hopefully that would be a thing. But I don't think they're going to change her even. They wouldn't dare touch Ghost directly any more than they did with Blade. They just changed the meta. Yeah, possibly. I mean, Ghost can do a lot more than Blade can do. And the thing about Blade is, was that better for the game? Where they had like a year of bleed immune, bleed immune, bleed immune, bleed immune. Champion shrugs off bleed and gains power. Bleed immune. You know, like, is that better for the game? We started to see something like that where they added like Mr. Sinister. Wasn't there like another champ at the time that had something with crits too? I don't know. It feels like they might try to adjust the meta, but is that better for the game? I don't know, man. The rocks look a little bit different now. The rocks look a little bit too bright in this scene right here. They're brighter than last time we were looking and I was saying it looked okay, right? Now it really does look like floating popcorn. It's kind of funny. Let's throw in the old Trinity. Armor break champs like Vision. How does he work again? I can't remember. Is he like an armor break on proximity type of thing? They also made villains a lot less defense oriented. Yeah, they did do that, right? Less villain tags, I think. I'd like to see other champs that have an anti-parry than 5 combo champs. I love Doom's ability to use heavy in the middle of a combo without risk. I think that's really cool too. He can only do it when the enemy has a shock, right? But it seems I gotta play him. I can't wait to play him. But I do really like that the Wasp heavy attack mid combo thing. Doom just seems like he's really fun to play overall. BG, if you were forced to make the decision between using a 4 to 5 5-star rank up gem on Claire or Doom, who would you choose and why? I wouldn't be able to tell you, man. Doom just came out. I'd have to give it more time. I guess technically I would go with Doom for prestige purposes, but if we're not including prestige, I couldn't tell you. I think Doom to me looks more fun than Claire, even though I like Claire. I'm not saying that she's like, I would have fun with both of those champs. But yeah, need more time. KT did a vid showing the history of the meta. A meta-breaking champ is released, and 3 to 9 months later, they start introducing counters. Very consistent. I don't know. I guess I haven't watched the video, but there are some champions that the meta hasn't really shied away. Like it has, like I mean, Quake's been with it the entire time, really. I guess when Quake was initially released, she was bugged, and then they had to like change some things about her, and then she started really becoming very powerful. Ghost has been in the game for over a year now. I don't see her going away anytime soon. They might add like some counters or something, but yeah. How long has Omega Red been in the game too? Omega Red's been in it for a while. When did that guy get it? That was before Comic-Con last year too, right? So Omega Red's been in the game for over a year. The only champ who really counters Stark Spidey is Annihilus. Oh, there's other counters. Korg, I would say, counters Stark Spidey in a pretty big way. It's pretty rough to fight Korg with Spidey. Doable, but boy oh boy is that a rough experience. Could be some others too. Killmonger counters him pretty good, I would say, just because once you get that reverb damage going, oof, Spidey's gonna take himself out. Here's my thing about when it comes to war. I don't really care about war so much. So most games follow a similar pattern of like the single player experience is a bit more open. More freedom of choice of what you can use. The difficulty usually isn't as high because they're not making the content for the top 0.1% people to get through or whatever, you know. Maybe initially, like the Abyss, I'm sure very few people are gonna beat the Abyss within like the first 6 months of it opening, you know. Just like Labyrinth, but as time goes on, you know, more and more people are able to beat it. But it's still, in general, the single player content is designed to be different than the multiplayer content, and it's more visible in other games actually. If you look at maybe like a first-person shooter, right? The campaign mode is meant for someone to pick up and play, and you don't have to be the guy who's trying to be a professional player to win games, you know. Whereas, yeah, if you're playing online, man, you got to be good. You're playing against these other guys who have also been playing the game for a while, probably put in a ton of time to get really good at the game. And that's just usually how it is. The multiplayer exists. I mean, it exists because it's fun, right? But it also exists as a way to kind of have that infinite skill ceiling where, yeah, you're playing against someone who is also improving all the time. And I don't care about Alliance War in this game. I like the single player, and I feel like the old contest, like before Alliance War Seasons, it was much more single player game mode oriented, I would say. I mean, technically, Kabam kind of ramped up on both sides because the variant difficulties didn't exist back then. There was a lot less single-player content in general. But the point is, I feel like there was less of a focus on something like War. And now I feel like, you know, War is still a pretty big focus. And they are able to control which champions people are using a little bit more in war. With certain nodes, yeah, you're not going to be able to use some champions. But in like the regular solo content, I think they have a much more difficult time preventing, or not preventing, but just getting players to look to other champions to use. I'm rambling a bit too much, I think. I guess the point I'm trying to say is I care a lot more about single player content, and I want that to be like that's the most fun game mode for me. And when certain aspects of the single player content or single player game modes are trivialized by certain champions, that just kind of makes me sad. That's what I like, and it's not as good as I think it could be. Still fun, but... And I'm not saying it to like ramp up the difficulty. It's kind of the opposite for me. That's why I said I don't really like the variants. The variant difficulties, they have a lot more attack in those difficulties. If you look at 6.2 and you look at any of the variants and you just look at the stats of a character and nothing else, the variants, it feels like they should actually be more difficult. But on like the strategy and kind of like planning outside of things, it's a little bit more difficult in Act 6, I feel. I guess that's what I like about it. Yeah, I'm definitely rambling too much, man. It's time to end the stream. Let's spin a couple of these guys out. Hope to get some more units. Although I could use the gold pretty bad right now, too. Right now, I don't have enough gold to donate for this week of donations. I'm not that far off. I think I need like 200,000 gold. I still have, the rest of the week to do it, but I like to try to get my donations in as early as possible, so I don't forget about it. Pulled the 4-star Heimdall the other day. Do you think I should bring him to the collector for the synergy, or would another high damage dealer be more beneficial? Ooh, Nick, I don't know how important he is for the collector, because if you get hit with a special from the collector, you'll survive, but then you also have the degen on you, and that's going to persist longer than the 1.5 seconds that you're staying alive with the synergy. So I don't think Heimdall is going to be too important for that fight. A little bit of speculation here. If anyone did use Heimdall and had good success, please put it in the chat, but I don't think so. But BG, when you play Alliance War, the opportunity for skill improvement is quite good. Oh, absolutely. I learned a lot playing Alliance War. I still definitely don't regard myself as like the best player ever. My play style is just like a very safe play style more than anything. I try not to do anything flashy because I can't. I'm not good at intercepting. I'm not good at a lot of like the real advanced skills. So yeah, there's definitely players out there way better. But I can definitely say that when Alliance War season started, over time I learned a ton more than if they never introduced Alliance War seasons. As someone who just beat Variant 3 with 550 Ghost, 345 Sentinel, having played for 11 months and not even done with Act 5, I think Variants are a great difficulty level. Okay, that's fair. I want there to be less attack in the variants, though. Personally, I want the difficulty. I want the difficulties to stay on par.
Just different. Lower attack, so that you can take a few blocked hits. It's less punishing, is the way I would personally design the variants. But then maybe have a bigger need for changes in strategy or champions use and stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't increase the difficulty. I wouldn't decrease the difficulty. It would stay the same. It would just be different. So, like I said, man, I'm not. A lot of people, I think, maybe get the wrong idea of I just want things to be more difficult. That's why I want champions nerfed, stuff like that. It's not the case. You nerf champions, you're not making the game more difficult. You're making the game more approachable, I would say, because then you could balance content around. Like the content has to be balanced around the strongest champions in the game. It kind of just has to, man. But if you lower if certain champions aren't like so far above others, they could still be stronger than other champions. But if they're a little bit closer to the rest of the pack, then you could also design content that's a little bit closer to the rest of the pack as well. Like, if we look at some of the champions that get buffed, as an example, some of them are quite useful. So this is definitely not a universal thing. Like Venom is super strong. Colossus seems like he's going to be very strong. But if we take a look at, it's too early to tell for Old Man Logan, but let's say Carnage, and maybe Old Man Logan's going to be the same way. Like I hope these champions got buffed enough that they're still within striking distance of some of the really overpowered champions. I hope. But if they're not, then it feels like what's the point of even putting in that effort to buff these champions, you know? If they're not within a close enough range to the top champions, they set the standard. The game is ruled by these top champions. And like I said, that's fine. As long as they're not so far above everything else. You just want the game to be more fun? Exactly. Yeah, I want the game to be more fun. Of course, everybody wants the game to be more fun. Everyone has their own opinion of what fun is. And, you know, my opinion is not necessarily any more important than anyone else's opinion. I'm not, you know... I think I have a good idea of what would be most fun, but hey, man, everyone has that same, you know, everyone has their own opinion of that, and all opinions are valid, you know? It's kind of what the majority would find fun while still having unique experiences across the board for all the people. Because, I mean, of course, you can't have one content. One content does not fit all type of thing. Kabam haven't really stated where they want variants to sit in hierarchy of quests. The rewards with 4 to 5 gems are higher than Act 6 so far. Shouldn't it be harder? The rewards in Act 6 might not look too stellar right now, but technically I think the rewards in Act 6 are better only because of the Tier 5 class catalysts and how rare those are. Kabam never stated exactly, as far as I know, you're right, I don't think Kabam ever stated where like it falls in line in their eyes. I think it varies. Like, I would say Variant 1 is more difficult than 6-1. maybe variant 3 is right below that line. It's kind of hard to say. I would say they're more difficult than Act 5, though. The variants definitely a step up from Act 5. All of them. As far as where they fall, it's a little different. I think the variants overall are really cool because it gives you... It's more of an open experience. Whereas, like, the acts, it's very linear. You do Act 1, then Act 2, then a 3, and then 4. And, you know, the variants, you kind of... Depends on the champions you get, and you can target them in specific ways and choose to go out of order, and that's really cool. Power creep and such is just going to get worse and worse. It needs to be addressed before it gets out of hand, I think. See, I think they did address it in 12.0, but then I think it lasted for a while. I think after 12.0, they had a good handle on it. And then things just kind of spiraled out of control. Because I think it only takes like one champion to really spiral things out of control. If you release an overpowered champ and your intentions are, hey, no matter what, we cannot nerf. If we nerf, the players will riot, and rightfully so. You know, you paid money for it. I'm not even saying it's wrong for people to be upset, but you if they have that mindset of, hey, we don't nerf champions. Well, if one champion is released that's above the pack unexpectedly, well, now suddenly, why release any champions that are with the rest of them? No, you gotta start releasing champions that are up here, and things can very quickly spiral out of control that way. After Corvus was released, we saw champions. We saw the damage output of champions, I feel like, drastically increase. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but we've seen a lot more champions that, hey man, you pop a special 3 and we're going to throw your attack through the roof. You know, like champions that their special attacks deal crazy amounts of damage, because you have to. I mean, why would you have a champion that doesn't have crazy amounts of damage when these other champions exist? Like, if Sunspot didn't have crazy damage on his specials, then he'd be forgotten about. And I'm not saying all this is bad. Some of it's good. It keeps the game interesting, man. But there's some downsides to it as well. All right. Anyway, though, guys, it's getting late. Didn't really mean to have a long talk about this stuff. We can talk about something different tomorrow. Change the subject entirely tomorrow. Keep forgetting that Anna's sister still hasn't entered the contest. Anna's sister? Who's Anna's sister? I think some of the recent characters are much more in tune with what characters should be like. Some of them are great. I think some of the characters are very well designed. I think the majority of them are very well designed. There's very few things that are kind of standouts that I'm like, But yeah, like, I don't know. Let's say like 90% of the things I like, and 10% of the things that I'm like, you know. But it's like those 10% things that have a huge impact on the game overall. Anyway, Enzo. I don't know if Enzo's still in here, but Enzo, thank you so much once again, dude, for being tonight's biggest D. Thank you, and everyone else as well who sent over a little something to support the channel. Thank you, guys. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow, normal time. No day stream. No day stream until Sunday probably, but maybe Saturday too or something. I don't know. Anyway, see you all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.